Bist ziemlich großer Autodieb in Amerika. Wie viele Autos du hast geklaut?
Keine Ahnung, aber wohl eins zu viel.
Eine Nierentransplantation ist die einzige Lösung.
Es gibt einen Weg, das Geld aufzutreiben.
Ist sie bei ihm? Wir waren zu spät. Sie ist tot. Es tut mir leid, mein Freund. Reingefallen.
Well, the script was originally set in Germany, so the original script was called Autobahn, so it had to be set in Germany, and we came over here with the British producers and the American producers, and we wanted to sort of replicate the sort of kind of urban feel of somewhere like Berlin-esque, but we felt that Berlin had been used so many times in especially American movies and British movies, and so we felt that that city had been used so many times. And we searched all over. We went to Frankfurt, we looked in Munich, and we looked at Cologne, and we recorded all the locations. And eventually I sort of realised that after looking at everything that Cologne had to offer, that it could all be completely shot here. And because we were going to originally split the movie between different cities and shoot sections in certain parts of Germany. And I just said to everyone, I said, I think it's going to really shoot us in the foot if we're going to have to try and spread the production all across Germany, shooting in different cities. And in the end, I sort of just looked at the entire film as a whole and I said, I think we can just do it all here. And that sometimes that meant that I rewrote the script. So we were kind of rewriting the script. I was like, you know what? There's a really cool racetrack in Cologne. Let's go and shoot in the racetrack. So we kind of went down to the racetrack, and the scene where Ben Kingsley is listening to that song in the stables, that really happened. There was a guy that was cleaning like in the stables, and he started to sing and dance, and I was like, I love that moment, and we wrote that into the script. And so like, as we were going around Germany, we just sort of and Cologne, I sort of picked up little moments, and then the location sort of started to be written into the actual movie itself. But Cologne's a beautiful city as well. It's a really beautiful city. It's really, and it's got everything to offer, like you know, on an international scale. So we shot it here. What I love about Germany in general, because we lived here and I brought my daughter here, so my wife came here, my daughter lived here, and we sort of moved in for 6 months. And what I like about Germany is that because coming from London, living in London, it's a very 24-hour, very fast city. And I think that something that the Germans and the Europeans are very good at is kind of being able to relax. They work hard when they need to work hard, but they also can take their foot off the brake and relax. So on a lot of our days off, we'd go to the German spas like the Claudius Thermae or the Neptune Spa, and we'd just relax in the saunas. And I started to get very into the German way of going completely naked. I was in with it. So like we went, So I'm cool. I was like going naked in the spas. Love the Kolsch of the city. I love the Kolsch. I love the people. The people are very friendly. I love the fact that on a Sunday everything closes down, and because in England it's still 24 hours on a Sunday, nothing shuts, nothing closes. I love the fact that in Germany you get like on a Sunday everything properly closes down, and you just feel like you can get to relax. But yeah, we really enjoyed it. And funnily enough, when me and my wife came back on Saturday, we were sitting down outside the spa, about to go into the spa, and my wife said, I feel really comfortable. And I said, I feel really comfortable as well. She said, I feel like I've sort of returned home, because you know when you know a city so well, and especially because we travelled around looking at all the different locations, I felt that I know this city inside out. You could put me anywhere in the city and I could find my way out of it, because I know the streets and I've sort of been all over. But so me and my wife decided we're going to return with our friends and do spa weekends and bring our daughter and relax in Cologne. So yeah, so it's become it wasn't intentional, but it's become a city we've sort of fallen in love with. I was born in 1975, so like my generation of movies was Cannibal Run and Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know if they're called the same names in Germany, but you know, the Burt Reynolds Cannibal Run and Smokey and the Bandit. So I kind of grew up on a different sort of level of action movies, like Bullet with Steve McQueen, and I had a very obscure, like the movies that I referenced were quite obscure. I didn't sort of reference the obvious things like Need for Speed or Fast and the Furious. My movie references were like obscure 1970s films like Vanishing Point, which is a sort of Barry Newman movie that was made in the 70s, or Fear is the Key. And then for the love relationship, I would reference films like Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, you know, or A Bout de Soufflé is the French name. I would reference movies like that for the crew. I didn't kind of give them references like Fast and the Furious. My sort of references were kind of slightly more obscure and sort of 70s based. But another important thing that I forgot to mention is one of the main reasons also with Cologne is Action Concept. Yeah. You know, the team behind Action Concept and the amazing stunt crews in Cologne, which is one of the big reasons also why we're here, because of what the infrastructure they have here with making Alert Cobra 11, and they've got some of the best stuntmen in the world, best stunt drivers like Carl Stuck, the stunt coordinator. He is on an international level. So yeah, and that was another really important reason why we were in Cologne. It was achievable all within this city, and then we had that infrastructure with the Action Concept and the show that they make here. And they're some of the most professional people I've ever worked with, and that they can achieve exactly what you need to achieve. So I would show them sequences like from the Bourne Supremacy, Jason Bourne action sequences, or I'd show them Bullet, and I would say, the thing is with Action Concept and Alert Cobra 11, is how you set Cobra 11, is the action's very over the top. So it's very big and over the top. And I was like, no, it has to be smaller, it has to be realer. And they were like, no, we need to make it bigger. And I was like, no, because maybe like in kind of, I find that the most impressive action sequences are stuff that is kind of much smaller and compact, rather than doing stuff that's very OTT. And so, but it was great work with them, and they're brilliant professionals.
Eran, die Arbeit, die du leistest, die Risiken, die du eingehst, dir steht wenigstens die Hälfte zu von dem, was wir verdienen. Aber der Mensch, der du bist, im Vergleich zu dem Menschen, der ich bin, zwingt mich leider dazu, abzulehnen, was du verlangst. Es ist eine Frage des Charakters, der Kultiviertheit, der Werte, der Tugend, von Dingen, von denen du nichts verstehst.
It was very nerve-wracking because I started off as a runner. I don't know what in Germany what they call a runner, is like a PA, production assistant, making teas and coffees, you know, when I first started in the industry. And I worked on lots of American movies in England, and I was just a tea boy, and I sort of worked my way up through the film industry and eventually became a director. So I just have as many nerves as the next person having to go in and direct Anthony Hopkins or Ben Kingsley. And you know, and also there's talented German actors, you know, and Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones. All of those actors, they expect a certain level of being a professional. So you have to come in, know exactly what you want to do. You can't mess around. Like Anthony Hopkins and Ben Kingsley, they come in when they come in and they leave when they leave, and they don't mess around. Do you know what I mean? So when it's time to go home, it's time to go home, and they will go home. And you need to be on point, and as soon as you get on set, you tell them exactly what you want them to do, and they will do it, and they will deliver it again and again and again, and they'll give you perfect take after perfect take. But you better not come in there going, I don't quite know what I want to do today, because they'll just eat you alive, so you have to be on top of it.
Geschäftsmann, Drogenhändler, der über Leichen geht. Im Laster befinden sich über 110 Kubikmeter Golfbälle voller Kokain. Du bringst ihn zu mir, dann gibt es Geld.
Ich hasse Schmerz und ich hasse Folter, aber das überlasse ich meinen Freunden hier.
Ist das gefährlich?
Was ist das für eine Frage? Natürlich ist das gefährlich.
I've become very good friends with Ben Kingsley, and we're working on another project at the moment together. And so when we first met, I was very nervous about him because he's an Oscar-winning actor for Gandhi. And but we've become very close friends, and actually the more you get to know him, you realise he's very empathetic and he's very emotional and a lovely guy, a lovely man. So yeah, it was good.
No!
Movie in 5 keywords: love, romance, action, cars, and Cologne. Okay.